Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to Lux, the channel dedicated to all things rich and luxurious. Conor Anthony McGregor was born July 14th in Dublin, Ireland. Conor enjoyed playing soccer as a kid, but grew up in the rough and tumble blue-collar village of Crumlin. He learned how to use his fists and quickly developed a reputation as a tough street fighter. At age 11, he joined the Crumlin Boxing Club where he trained as a boxer for 6 years, winning a Dublin Novice Championship. Then at the age of 18, McGregor made his mixed martial arts debut and won via technical knockout, TKO in the first round. The rest is, well, history. Today, Conor McGregor has earned a ton of money in his impressive MMA career. Nowhere near the $1 billion he claims to have made on a recent Instagram post, but about $120 million. According to a recent estimate. He spends it on everything from his cars to his dangerous lifestyle and more. Billionaire or not, the cash is rolling in for Conor McGregor. So join us today as we show you what Conor McGregor spends his millions on. But first, make sure to give this video a like and subscribe to the channel. If you're already subscribed to the channel, make sure you turn on notifications as we are releasing new videos every day. Number 9. His training. Let's start off with one that we all know is true. When it comes to Conor McGregor, he may be one of the most controversial figures on the planet, at least in regards to sports, and he may come off as a loudmouth, but he makes sure he puts just as much time and effort into being the hardcore MMA fighter that was the top of the sports world in many ways. When he steps into the ring, he may do his swagger walk, but when the bell rings and it's time to fight, he brings the pain. And part of that is due to his training. His very intense and very expensive training, might I add. McGregor goes all out to make sure he's ready for a fight, even when that fight was a boxing match against Floyd Mayweather. Everyone thought it'd be a joke, but McGregor came to play and went 10 rounds with Floyd, and that's because he's trained. Another great example is the recent fight he had in his return to UFC. He toned down his outlandish nature and trained harder than he ever had done before to prove he was back at the top of his game. The result? He knocked out his opponent in 40 seconds. It's fair to say that he spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on his training over the years. And that won't stop as he tries to reassert his dominance in UFC. Number 8. His business. One of the reasons that Conor McGregor is so rich is that he knows how to build his brand. He's loud, outlandish, unapologetic, and dang good at what he does. And so he's used that brand to launch various business ventures over the years. One such thing was his whiskey company called Proper Whiskey, a brand of which he would use himself to advertise on TV. Because of his popularity, he sold over 2 million bottles of the whiskey when it came out, which would usually sound like a successful business venture, eh? Except that many people who have tasted Proper Whiskey have noted that it is decidedly not a proper whiskey, going so far as to note that it tasted really bad. One Irish bar was even seen dumping the whiskey down the toilet, rather than serving it. So whether this business venture continues is up in the air. But so long as McGregor is famous, and after his last UFC fight, he's more famous than ever, he's going to keep putting money into other ventures to try and make himself even bigger. Number 7. Fashion. You would think that Conor McGregor, given his personality, the way he handles himself, wouldn't be a guy that would do things like fashion. But you'd be dead wrong. In fact, fashion is something that Conor himself admits he likes very much. Once he hit it big, he would wear massive fur coats or impressive 3-piece suits in order to show just how rich and good-looking he was. His love for fashion has cost him a lot of money, but his desire for even more fashion led to him and his tailors starting their own fashion line called August McGregor, a line that has very impressive suits, ties, and other accessories that allow people to dress up in the style of the MMA fighter and look good while doing it. Conor McGregor said, quote, "Fashion is something that I'm truly passionate about, and I'm excited to share exactly that with my fans by giving them a chance to share my iconic looks," end quote, was how he announced the company's launch. McGregor's personal wardrobe includes, but is not limited to, $2,000 Gucci shirts, a $920 Louis Vuitton jumper, and $100,000 gold watches, $1,000 crocodile loafers, and a Gucci mink coat that when paired with matching ensemble cost $150,000. So yeah, whether he's making fashion or just wearing it, he spends a lot on it. Number 6. The cars. One of the many things that people agree they would buy if they ever got rich is cars. Cars are universal, cars are practical, and if you're a collector, a love of your life. For Conor McGregor, the richer he got, the more he would spend on his very impressive car collection, one that is still growing to this day. To give you an idea of some of the cars he has 3 limited edition Lamborghinis, a custom Rolls-Royce Ghost worth more than $300,000, a Rolls-Royce Phantom Drophead Coupe valued at $500,000, a BMW, multiple Range Rovers, and more. While not confirmed, it's believed that he has about 20 cars in his fleet. If that is true, and the prices are at least $100,000 per car, it's fair to say he spent many millions on the rides that he only occasionally drives. Number 5. The yachts. What is it with rich people and yachts? Seriously, they love getting them. They love taking them out and showing them off. And it seems like most mega rich people own at least one, and Conor McGregor is no different. But in a fun twist, he named his first yacht that he got after a low point in his life. How so? He calls his yacht the 188. That number is significant because before he was a world-famous renowned fighter, he was on welfare checks, and 188 is what he would get on those checks. So his yacht is very much a reminder of where he came from and how far he has come. And then he went and bought another yacht worth $3.4 million, for good measure, because you can never have too many of them, I guess. Number 4. Ireland Mansion. McGregor has many homes, but in 2019, he went and bought one in his homeland of Ireland that was worth $2 million. The riverside property, which features full horse riding facilities, has 5 bedrooms, 6 bathrooms, a living room, dining room, kitchen, and game rooms. Plus, you can bet that he has decked the house out in all sorts of things that just screams, "I'm Conor McGregor, and I'm rich." I mean, think about who we're talking about here, you know? Anyway, he has a lovely house, and he's likely to keep this one because it's a perfect place to relax when he's not traveling the world. Number 3. Custom arcades. Okay, now this is something I can really get behind. While Conor may play his own game via the UFC apparently, McGregor is a gamer at heart. He knows to get custom arcade cabinets made and then put into his homes. That's not only cool, it's expensive. Such cabinets cost over $1,100 a pop, and he's been documented to have several. But then again, that just means that game night at his house is going to be legendary. Number 2. Private jets. What? Of course Conor McGregor has a private jet. How could he not, given his worth and fame? Think about it. This is a guy that may have only a few fights a year in the UFC, but he's traveling the world doing all sorts of other things to help build himself up as a fighter, working on businesses, being with his son, and more. And sometimes that means you need to hop on a plane and get somewhere fast, and thus you need a private jet. Not so ironically, McGregor has noted multiple times on Instagram that he has a jet and shows himself hanging out in it. As for the price, that's hard to say, because jets can be new or hand-me-down, and thus cost very different prices. But let's just say for sake of argument, he spent at least $10 to $20 million on it. Sound fair? Number 1. His son. As we have already noted, Conor McGregor is nothing if not surprising at times. He loves fashion, for example. But while he may be notorious and be the most boisterous man on the face of the earth, he does have a very humble side that loves a certain thing more than anything else: his son. He has a young boy that he loves with all his heart and is more than willing to spend some money in order to make that kid as happy as possible. Plus, he loves to show his son off on Instagram and talk about what the boy means to him. Remember this, my champion. People will always have an answer for the question they won't have to answer themselves. Self-education must never be our only form of education, but always know it is our best form. Let's go, my champion! So, what do you think? What do you think of these things that Conor McGregor spends his money on? Were you surprised by any of the things on this list? Do you think that there will be other things that McGregor spends his millions on? Which of these items would you like to own for yourself? Let me know in the comments below. And thank you for watching Lux, the channel dedicated to all things rich and luxurious. If you like this video, make sure you check out some of our other videos, and to be notified when we release new videos, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Until next time.